and welcome to episode 101 of Explode Your Expert Biz Show, brought to you by gtex.org.uk. I'm your host, Simone Vincenzi, the expert strategist, and this is the podcast for experts who want to become the authority in their niche while making an impact in the world. Today, I have the pleasure to interview a fellow Italian, which is Gianluca Massini Rosati. Gianluca is the CEO of Escapologia Fiscale, which teaches people and entrepreneurs how to pay less taxes, in particular in Italy, Scriber, and Smart Business Lab. He built a huge personal brand in Italy and Europe and runs multiple seven-figure businesses. He became famous in Italy, in particular helping Italians pay less taxes, and now is revolutionizing the world of online payments. Now, in this episode, we talk about how Gianluca built this personal brand. I mean, he's on television, magazines, mainstream every single week. How to spot a trend in your niche. So how he was able to find what was missing, what was the missing link, and put his personal brand in there and immediately have what he looked like an overnight success. And how he used the book launch to generate more than 7 figures. So you will love this interview. You can read all the full transcript and the resources on our website, and you can find it www.gtex.org.uk/episode -111. That's it. There will also be the link where you can connect with Gianluca, and the links are also here in the show notes. Now, if you want to make 6-figure presentation and become awesome at selling from the stage but without compromising your integrity, I've created the ultimate selling from the stage checklist, which is the most comprehensive checklist to create a pitch that sells without being a total douchebag. if you allow me the word. And also to receive daily support in your coaching and expert business, join our private Facebook group Explode Your Expert Biz, where you can connect with the speakers, connect with the people that we interview, and also receive daily support in your business and connect with like-minded people, network, create powerful joint ventures. And if you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, what the heck are you waiting for? Subscribe right now, and if you want to leave us a review, I would really appreciate it. Let us know what you think about the show and what would you like to see in the show. Now, if you want to reach out to me personally with your questions or to be part of the show, then you can email me at simone@gtex.org.uk, and that comes straight into my inbox. Without further ado, let's start the music and let's hear it from Gianluca Massini Rosati. Hello and welcome to another episode of Explode Your Expert Biz Show. I'm here with the one and only Gianluca. Now, as you can see, probably you heard about Gianluca's bio and story. He is incredible, so thank you very much for being here. We are also live on Facebook, so if you're watching the replay, if you're watching live,
hi guys.
Hey everyone. Now, first of all, before we start and we talk about your journey in becoming an expert and going everywhere on television, media, newspaper, magazines, book, before all that, where did you start? Tell us a bit more about the beginning.
I started as an entrepreneur maybe 15 years ago, so my success didn't come early, at an early stage when I was so young, but I was so ambitious from the beginning, and I think my success started from there, so from the very early stage, so you can improve yourself and your skills. But my explosion came out 2.5 years ago, more or less.
I like the word explosion because we are on the Explode Your Expert Biz show, so great word. So before your explosion, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Before we talk about your explosion, were you born from already a rich family?
No.
Was a normal family?
It was a normal family. My father was an electrician, and my mom at the shop. So they were normal people. So I went to the school. I didn't go to the university, and I started work when I was 19, something like this. And yeah, I never been an employee, so I started from to be a self-employed, and after that starting to be an entrepreneur. So growing and building my business.
And what was your first business?
My first business was in the electrical market because my father was an electrician, so I started from that. And so I started to grow with renewable energies. So when in Italy there was the explosion of the market of the renewable energies, I started to grow in these fields, building renewable energy power plants with photovoltaic plants, eolic plants, and stuff like this. And yeah, I started to grow and to create a small but successful company, the first one. And but after a few years, the government incentive finished, so the market crashed, and I restarted from another point.
I think it's like the story of many entrepreneurs that they start with one thing and then something happened, and then there are two choices that you can make at that point.
Yeah.
First choice is give up, and the other choice is keep going. And therefore you decided to keep going. We have Gregory here on Facebook that says, "Hello Simone, nice to have met you in London." Oh, that's right there. We have Robert Stern. He's a social media influencer who is watching as well. Hey Robert. William Blake, hello everyone. Thank you for watching. And if you have any question as well for Gianluca, make sure that you type them now, so then I can ask him your questions. So what happened? What happened 2.5 years ago?
2.5 years ago, I found a new passion, to be honest, because I had already a lot of experience in managing companies, and I developed a large interest in managing numbers of the company. And in Italy, one thing very important is about taxes, because taxes in Italy are too much high.
You know what? I was talking to my uncle while I was in Italy and for Christmas, and he's a self-employed. Sometimes they can pay up to 79% of time. 70%. It's crazy. Like, so can you believe that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So if you in your company you have a sort of how can I say in English, is a business partner, but there is nothing on your company house, but you have this business partner. It's the government. So they come to you at the end of the year and tell you, okay, this 60% is mine, but they are not into the company house. So
in the UK you are a bit luckier because they say 20% is mine. So the 20 up to 21%. So
yeah, but also now it's going down. So next year will be 19%, and they are going to 70%. So it's very good. In Italy we are growing.
We're growing. They're going up and up and up.
But that's it. So I started to build my new business in this area so in Italy at the moment I'm already well known as a tax expert, but I'm not an accountant. I have not any degree, so I started to be an entrepreneur and just with an expertise in taxation.
In taxation, I think that how we can, and then Robert, I'm going to ask him your question. So hang in there. The description of you in Italy, someone that help people avoid taxes legally.
Yeah, right.
Legally.
Right. Legally.
So all legal stuff is not saying how you can steal from the all legal stuff that you can do to reduce. And you built a massive business in Italy. And do you also operate in the UK or in other parts, or is it mainly Italy?
Yeah, of course, it's mainly Italy. We are operating in other countries, also Switzerland and some in UK. But of course, the main part of the business regarding taxes is in Italy, and there I have a large company with 24 accountants that is working with clients to help them to to save. I would say not to avoid paying taxes, but to save money
To save
on
money.
taxes.
Okay, to save
So,
money on taxes.
in the legal way, of course.
Let me get some questions from here. I have Robert, and Robert Stern says, what do you think is different with today's mental state of today's entrepreneurial mindset versus years ago?
I think that at the moment the mindset is of course one of the most important thing that an entrepreneur has to develop, and you need to think faster than before, faster than ever, and also you need to be updated with new technology and to understand where the market is going, and you need to anticipate the market to create some services that people want to buy from you, and you need to add value to the people, to the customers. So I think that there is a direct correspondence between how much you add to your customers and how much you will gain from your customers.
Absolutely. And I think that Robert, in particular, Robert, now you are in the social media world, and you know that things are changing faster than ever. So I agree with what you said is about thinking on your feet and saying, okay, this is the new trend. Let's ride this wave, and the trends, they change so fast. So businesses constantly readapt and rechange and reshape themselves.
Of course,
with the
also,
new
also
technologies
the way,
coming up.
Yeah, also the way you are marketing your product changing continuously.
Absolutely.
So you need to update also them.
We have another question from Gregory Gianluca. I don't know, Gregory. Do you have Italian origins? I don't know. Let me
Maybe
know.
something.
It seems that you have an Italian surname, but we had a chat with Gregory, and he's a successful real estate investor in the U.S. And they met here in London for a class that I delivered on branding with a partner. And Greg is saying, my friend from Italy tells me that it takes a long time and difficult process to get a business started. What do you think about it?
You are right. For sure, you are right. But of course, I think that you need to also to understand the rule. Of course, so it's difficult, more difficult in Italy than here in UK.
Yeah.
Also because you need to do many things. You need to go to a notary. Yeah, UK, you just sending an email to create a company.
£15.
Yeah.
You have a company
Yeah,
on Company House, 10 minutes on the website.
Yeah, in Italy you need to go to a notary and spend also maybe 2,000 euros to create a new company. So also you need to go to the bank, open the bank accounts, and many other stuff that you need to do.
So just think about the difference between £15 on a website and 2,000 euros.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, of course, it is totally different. And also a lot of rules to respect and a lot of things to do. You need to know that in Italy, from statistics says that in Italy they need 120 hours more to manage the bookkeeping and the accounting of a company per year. 120 hours more than in other countries.
because it's more, well, everything in Italy is more complex anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you see a balance sheet, in UK it's just a page with 4 lines. In Italy you have 20 pages of things, and also you need, so the telephone costs are different because you can on telephone costs you claim just 40%, for example, but it not depends if you are using the phone for your business or for yourself, but you can claim back just 40% of what you spend for telephone.
so you can. It's crazy.
For example, just an example.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So I know we're going to talk in a few minutes, so make sure you guys stay on the live, because we are going to talk in a few minutes about the experience that Gianluca had in Facebook, because he was invited with how many people?
We were 250 people all
So
over Europe.
only 250 people all over Europe. He was selected to go to Facebook because of his success on his Facebook campaigns. So we're going to talk about also what he learned from Facebook, what are there going to be some news. So make sure you stay on. But what I want to know is, so now 2.5 years ago, you had a new business, and that boomed. But you know, there are a lot of people that would claim, I help you save money with paying taxes.
Yeah.
Accountant being first, right?
Of course.
So what made you what makes your success? What made you so successful? That's the question they want to hear.
I think there are many reasons or many answers to this question. I think one of them is that I am an entrepreneur, so I have the same language, and I can speak with my customers, my clients, in the way they would like to have somebody that speak with them.
Yeah.
So I don't use specific technically terms and words that they cannot understand. I speak with them as I can speak with you. So I teach to the people things in the easiest way is possible. So also I wrote an online course that is the first part of my success, and we sold around 10,000 copies of this online course, and I think is the online course the best seller in Italy ever. So nobody can say that I sold 10,000 copies of the online.
You got to understand that the Italian market is very different from the UK market. So you might consider the UK or the US and you say, oh, 10,000, many people did, but Italy is very different. So it's a country where all these digital courses, they are just starting out, or they've been a few years.
Also the language, because if you create an online course in English, you can sell it all over the world.
Exactly.
If you do it in Italian, you can sell it in Italy. So there are maximum for this specific thing, because it's taxation is just for entrepreneurs and professionals, and you have maximum 4 million customers. So it's very specific niche, and I think there is another reason of my success. So I decided I chose this niche to start my business, and also I think the name, because the naming that I gave to this business at the beginning. After that I changed.
Yeah.
But at the beginning I created this name that was tax escapologist in English, something like this. So it's I connected taxes with the escapology, so it's the way to
escape, to free yourself from taxes.
From shame and from taxes.
So I think that we have a few bigger learning here, because I'm just deconstructing what you did. So there are a few things. One is having a clear niche, which we always talk about. We must have a clear niche, otherwise you're dead as an expert business, because you need to be an expert in something, right? Then the other thing is the way you market yourself and you position yourself, the words that you use. So you mentioned that you told to people in a language that they can understand, that is easy to communicate, and in particular they're not used to, because they go to an accountant and they talk about all these numbers and figures and this and this and that, and they're like, what?
Yeah. I started to teach to the people a lot of things that they have never heard about, because nobody said to them what is, for example, the benefits of a registered trademark, for example.
Yeah.
Most of the people don't know about that. So at the moment, this strategy is one of my most important strategies that I can explain to the people, just to collect the audience, because nobody knows about that. But it's a simple thing, an easy thing to do, with a lot of advantage from a taxation point of view, but nobody knows.
So there is another key here. So share something with your audience that you know is important, and they might not know it, because if you get them to have this aha moment, then they will start following you. So I imagine that you start sharing about the trademark, and how is more important and more tax efficient having your trademark, and then more people started following you, and then they end up buying your course.
Of course.
That's of course they buy the course.
After that, the two most important publishers of Italy called me to make a book. So you need to know that the first two publishers was against each other. They want to have a book with me, and after that,
right. And I think there is something important here, because when you find a unique point, or when you find something which is trendy, because if you're looking at a publisher point of view or magazine's point of view, they want to talk about something that gives people an opinion, gets people to talk about it. I know you've been interviewed in a TV program called the Le Iene in Italy. Now, Le Iene, for those of you that don't know, is kind of a comedy show, but with satirical and politics. Satirical show. And what they want to expose people that are scammers most of the time. So remember that you did an interview with an accountant. Because they tried to get him to say, oh, actually, this guy, he doesn't tell the truth. He's doing something illegal. And every answer that he was giving on the show.
Yes, but the most important part was that they told me before that they will share my information with an accountant to see if my information was right. But they did another thing. They went to one of the director of the Agenzia delle Entrate, that is the HRMC in Italy. So they went to the government to the state to share the information.
Were you scared?
I didn't know before, so I was not so scared because I was sure about what I've done, what I did. So I was not sure, but the problem was the program, because Le Iene is a kind of program where they try also not so nice.
Well, they want to break people.
Yeah,
that's what they want to do. You are there and they want to break you. That's how they make their audience. So, but after that, the interview was so successful that actually
they didn't break me.
They didn't break you. So his sales went crazy, and I've seen that he got millions of views.
Yes. I think that the interview was around maybe 5 million people.
5 million people. That's crazy. So there is something, I think, what I love about what Gianluca is doing, that is always ahead of the curve. He's looking at, he has this great ability to see the market and where people are going, what people want. Because if you give people what people want, they'll buy it.
Yeah, sure. If they trust you, they'll buy everything.
Exactly. So then it's about building the trust and their reputation. So it's cool. So now let's talk about Facebook, your Facebook experience.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about your projects that you are creating right now at the end of the interview. About your Facebook experience. So you were there. Where was it?
It was a conference gathered.
Where?
In Brussels.
In Brussels. So in Brussels, 250 of the top campaigners on Facebook.
Was really interesting because we were a few people, and we spoke with a lot of important people of Facebook, and they were sharing with us sort of the future of Facebook also, and they said to us what the audience is going to want it. So how can we manage our campaign to collect more audience? So it's an important point, and a lot of good information to know before the others, so we can manage to change something in our Facebook campaign to collect more audience and to create better content for the platform. And of course, it will be a win-win thing, because Facebook will have more interesting content, and we are going to collect more audience. So
absolutely
helpful for both of us. And also there were also one of the CEO of Facebook and one vice president of Facebook, and they explained to us what they are what they are going to do, also against fake news, also with the technology, also to avoiding miss people behind, because the technology is changing a lot of rules also in the job market. So a lot of job won't be more anymore, but a lot of new jobs will create from the technology. Also Facebook is going to hire 10,000 more people in the next 3 years to to face the fake news, to
filter fake news.
Yes, just for that.
10,000 more people just to filter fake news.
Yes,
that's crazy. Can you tell us something like off the radar of the things that you've heard? From, just one thing.
What's one thing, for example, is about the videos. So all the Facebook is going to the videos. All the people is going in this direction, and most of the content will be videos. So if I can suggest something to the people that are watching us, learned how to create better videos and how to use the platform in videos, because everything is going in this direction. And also you need to keep in mind that the first 3 seconds of the videos is the most important part of that. So you need to synthesize your message, to keep your message in the first 3 seconds of the video, and after that you can continue talking.
Yeah.
So that's another thing they told us.
That's brilliant. So these are a few things. I'm going to have a chat with him because I want to know more. So I'm gonna take.
I can share everything. Come on.
You can share a few more. Okay, you can.
Not with all.
Not with everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna take him out for dinner tonight, and I'm gonna I'm gonna get some insider secrets. Now you're creating a new exciting project, which works in fintech.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about this new project and what it is, how the idea came along?
Yes, I can do that. Of course, the idea came out when I started to think about what the people and the customers want. So I have already a large customer base. So I would like, what is something else that I can offer to my customers, because they already trust me, so I can give them some other things. And I started from creating a new bookkeeping software, but it will be just for the Italian market, and maybe most of the people can know Xero or Sage. They are the most important.
QuickBooks, Xero, Sage,
FreshBooks, or there are a lot, and but they are not good in the Italian market because of the things we said before. So the Italian market has a lot of specific thing in accounting, in bookkeeping. So we created a new technology in this area. But of course there are many other softwares in Italy, but we add a sort of artificial intelligence into our software to scan the documents and to read the documents automatically, and we can add all the information into the bookkeeping software with just a few work from the humans, and we are going to save around 70% of the time from the data entry time. That at the moment there are many people that is working on data entry to put all the information into these softwares, and with our system from our intelligence, we can save 70% of the time of these people.
That's not a small time save.
Yeah, because as I told you before, in Italy you need 120 hours more against the other countries. So if we are going to save 70% of this time, it will be a huge saving of time, of course, of money. So this software is already released. So our first customers already have the first release, and we are going to complete platform until March this year. So it's almost
ready.
Done. Yes, it's almost done.
Ready.
Everything. But the most important thing of the business, and it will be international, and we are going globally with that, will be a platform that the name is Scriber, and the platform allow you to make payments with a tap on your smartphone. Because at the moment, if you are paying,
that's business payments.
Yes,
right?
just for business.
Just for business. So it's not like Apple Pay.
No, not
right.
It's just for business, and is useful to the companies that has to do a lot of payments. Because if you need to do a lot of payments, you need to go on your internet banking, put all the information on the
put the card reader.
Yeah, the card reader.
Before I was so that's the story what happened before. I was waiting for him to come out, and for his partner, and to come out, and I was making the payment for the venue for our next event. Now I was there with my card reader, putting the secret number, and he was like, "This is what you're not going to use anymore in a few years once this project take off." Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, it's right, because in a few years you will receive maybe the invoice from the whatever you need for your provider. You can forward this email to your app. I will read the information from the email, everything, or from an invoice, a PDF file, or you can just take a photo of your invoice to pay. Yeah. I will collect all the information, and so I will put into my payment platform, the payee, the amount, the IBAN of the beneficiary bank account,
all the bank
details, the amount, also the due date, because you can scan today the invoice and maybe you would like to pay the next week, and you will receive a notice in your app and say to you, would you like to pay it? Yes, not.
That's
You
so
will
cool.
save around of 90% of the time spending in payments with this platform.
Absolutely. No, I can tell you because I'm doing a lot of payments where I'm putting the money in, money out, and taking the card reader and so on. And I love, like, even when I'm going and shopping, I'm using my phone to pay. So I have my personal card registered on my phone. Click,
Yeah,
click.
this
click.
is for your personal one, but
My
with your
personal
Visa,
one. No,
you
no, I
don't
cannot
have
do
it
for the,
more.
no, I cannot do for the business because it doesn't read business cards.
Yeah.
The business cards are not accepted by Apple Pay. So, oh, brilliant! I absolutely love that. So we have actually Gregory, just going back to Facebook. He says a great point about video. The first 3 seconds are the most important. I guess just like a headline in the news.
Maybe, yes.
Absolutely.
But because we will have so much video in the future, so when you scroll your phone, you just be on the video for just the first 3 seconds.
Exactly.
If the first 3 seconds will be interesting, you will see the rest of the part of the video. Otherwise, you will go to the next one.
So I know that with this new project now you're almost there to go public.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So right
yeah.
now you are in the first phase of
Yeah, at the
raising
moment,
fundings.
yes, at the moment we are in a private sale, so we just involve some investors that already invested with us and some friends and some influencer, and we already raised around 3 million euros for the private sale, and we are going to be on the public sale on May this year, so in 4 months more or less, and
Perfect.
and we are going to raise, I think, 30 million, but I think that will be the minimum cap, and we will put an eye cap around 60 million. We would like to raise this money to launch the platform all over the world in the right way, with right marketing and with, of course, the right technology to make it perfect from the beginning.
From the get-go, because if you're starting like this and you're doing something small, someone else is gonna come in and is gonna take it. Someone else with more money, more powers, they're gonna do it. So I absolutely agree that. So guys, if you are interested also in investing in this platform, just to know more, where can where can they find?
You can find information on the website of the platform. This is www.scriber, xriba.com.
Perfect. So xriba.com. And you can also find information about the platform. You can also become an investor if you want to invest in that platform. Make sure you get in touch with Gianluca. And if you are in Italy, well, we have there are some also that you're part of a business platform called Smart Business Lab.
Yes,
that operates in the UK. I've been to one of your events in Italy. And I loved your presentation about the reverse franchising model. Was absolutely.
Yeah, this is a specific way of doing business, and I think that most of my companies, because I'm not just one company. The main one is about tax and accounting, but I have several companies, and all of them are based on a business model. The name is reverse franchising, and is a way in which there is a brand, and the brand makes the marketing. And you will have some experts that will deliver the service. So it's a new way of making business in 2018. So at the moment, in these years. So it's a sort of maybe liquid business way to do business, to make money, and it's working very well and in different sectors. Also, Smart Business Lab is an interesting business, interesting company, and it's going very well in Italy. It's growing. Grow a lot.
I was at the seminar. How many people were there? I think about 300, 400 people.
Maybe 400 people. But we select the people that comes to our events. So we put sort of how can I say a limit? A limit. Not only of the limit of how many people, but also a limit of turnover of the customer. So we choose which kind of customers will come to our events. So we don't collect everything.
It's not everyone who owns a business come along. You know you want, you know your target audience, and your avatar, and you get the right people in. Now I have one more question, and guys, if you have a couple more questions, I have him for the next 5 minutes. So make sure that you write any question that you want to ask him right now here in the comments. I know that you did a very successful book launch. Was
Yeah.
that last year, right?
Yeah,
When
last
we-
September. Yeah,
Last September. I think we're around the time we met, or we started touching base for the first time.
maybe. Yeah, something like this.
I
Yes.
think it was around September time. And was it your first book launch?
Yes, my first one, and of course it's going very well. Still, it's going this way, and it's sold I think around 15,000 copies at the moment, and the launch went very well because also I organized a tour in 10 cities in Italy, and I had around 3,000 people in this tour to see my workshop where I presented my strategy.
What I'm curious to know is how was your experience during the book tour, because it was something new for you.
Yeah.
Was there something that maybe you didn't expect that happened, or something?
To be honest, I think that I improved a lot during the 10 days. So
Okay.
from the beginning, and of course the last step was the better one that I've done. And it's an important experience because when you do for 10 days, one day after another, and you do the same thing, you will improve a lot, and also you will keep this improving on yourself.
Yes.
It's better to do this kind of effort in less time than
Yeah.
10 days in 10 months or 10 days in 10 days.
Yeah.
Are completely different. And it was a good experience, and I think that I also changed a lot of things in myself during this period, this launch.
And what was other people, everyone who's listening, they have an expert business, they want to be seen as an authority, and they want to be seen as the go-to person. How important is a book for someone to become the go-to person?
Yeah, it's important, and in my experience, it was very important regarding the connection with the TV. Because in Italy, when I created tax escapologies, is a sort of grey thing. So a grey thing. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, a lot of journalists, a lot of TV don't like a lot this kind of grey things.
Yes.
So they would prefer something is on the under the light, it's clear, everything is clear. So when you write a book with the first publisher of your market, of course you are an authority,
Yeah.
and the TV can say no, we don't want him. So they would like to have me in their transmission, in their program. So from the book, I started to go on TV maybe once a week, every week.
Every time I see your profile, you have
Yes.
a selfie in a different TV studio. So
Also this Sunday, I'm going back to Italy this Sunday to be in another.
because you live in London,
Yeah, yeah, I
right?
live
So
in
you live in London. His business runs in Italy, and he goes back to Italy once a week to go in different TV. So he's a proper jet setter. We have the last question, and then we wrap up, Gianluca. It's from Johnny Cooper. He runs a great Facebook group called Johnny Hates Marketing. And Johnny is saying, do you hand out your books free for PR, or are you actually selling them all?
I'm selling everything.
I love the tone of voice.
I don't give nothing for free, or just maybe just something, but just few things, and I would sell everything. Also the tour, when I collect 3,000 people on the tour, they were paying the ticket to come to the tour, and it was, of course, is a small thing because it was 37 euros. So
And
it
there
not
was
a
the
lot.
book included.
Yeah, the book was included. So you have the 2 hours workshop with me, and also the book. So it's a few money.
Yeah.
But from the tour, we sold around 1.5 million of consultancy from this tour.
So, this guy knows what he's doing. That's the bottom line. If you want to get involved with any of Gianluca's project, you want to interview him on your show as well. He's a very down to earth. That's what I loved about him, because if you don't know about him, you will never know that he does so many things and is so influential. He's just a very down to earth person, and these are the kind of people I love to hang out because at the same time, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's talking about, he's an authority on it, but he's humble at the same time. And I think he's a great guest for any show. And also I think is important for you to get involved in his projects. If you are in Italy, make sure that you get his book. You get help from him and Smart Business Lab and all these businesses in your business. And as well, if you want to invest in Scriber, make sure that you contact him. And we are going to put all the links that we talked about. They're going to be in the show notes of the podcast. So don't worry about that. You're going to find all the links, and you make sure you get in touch with Gianluca.
Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It was a pleasure also for me. Thank you.
An absolute pleasure.
See you guys. Bye bye.
See ya.